Welcome to Tea Talk, where the topics are real, relevant, and relaxing. It's Tea Talk time, and here's Lady O.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm so happy to see all of you all. And boy, did we have an amazing subject today to talk about. We've been talking about it forever, and we were excited about it, and people are still talking about it. The news is going crazy. And it's none other than the color purple. You can see we're all wearing our purple. We have been doing all kinds of things and been just so excited about the color purple. I remember when I first heard about it was through my daughter. She read the book, and I'm not really a great reader like she is, an avid reader. So she read the whole thing, and she was in New York and went to see the musical and all those things. So she could repeat every one of those lines in that movie. So I got involved in it that way. But since then, it's been on TV. And here recently, it came to the movies in Texas around Christmas. So a lot of us got together and said, let's go see The Color Purple together as a bunch of girls. And listen, we have even had some guys. We had about four guys that went with us all together. I don't know, maybe 25, 30 people went. It was a good crowd, and we had a ball at The Color Purple. So listen, today we are going to be talking about the good, the bad, and even some of the ugly and some of the downright gossip about what's going on. But we're going to bring some clarity as to what's real and what maybe not be so real, but choose for yourself. And the main thing is put your own comments in there. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you saw and what you thought about the movie in the comments section. So go ahead and share with your friends and your families. Call them up on the phone. You're talking about something that's going to be hot and juicy today. Tell them they're going to be talking about The Color Purple. Girl, you want to get on there to see what they're going to say. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm so glad you're here. I want to first of all, just thank all of you all that went out to see The Color Purple with us. We have a couple of pictures that we're going to share with some of the ladies that were there. Afterwards, we went out to dinner. We had trivia. I mean, we had prizes. Let's see, we have any of those pictures of when we went to see The Color Purple. And of course, I still have I have another purple on today, but let's see if we can find any of those. There they are. All right, let's see who was there with us at the movies here in Houston, Texas. I was so excited too because my daughter and her family were here in the city. So my daughter went to see it, and her husband, and my other son, and my husband. So there were plenty of men there and lots of women at First Metropolitan Church, the place where you belong. We were at the movies. So let's see what we got here. Um, let's see, got that. They're asking me something here, so hold on a minute. I'm seeing if I'm doing it right. It doesn't show me. You can get out of it if it's not going to play, because for some reason mine is not showing, Tish. So just go back to the screen and we'll come back later if you get it. We can share the pictures. I just wanted you all to see some of the ladies that went out. This should be something that you should think about. You're always wanting to have some things to do, some things that are fun. Well, get together a group of women from work, from church, or from the neighborhood. It's like, hey, let's go to the movies. Let's go to the theater. Let's go somewhere and have a girls' night out and have a lot of fun. And this is what we gave to all the ladies who came. We gave them a purple scarf and a black bag and candy inside, and trivia games inside, because afterwards we went out to eat, and we had some teenagers that were there with us too. And you know what? They won the trivia. So we had these long lollipops for them. They were really beautiful and very yummy, but they won those. And we were happy that they came to hang out with us, more mature ladies. So without further ado, let's get talking about The Color Purple, okay? And I have my team here with me today, and they're in their purple, and they got their purple backgrounds. And so I'm just going to let them come on and tell us, why don't you, I think let's start off by saying this. Um, what were your thoughts or your feelings about the movie? Let's just give an overall general thing and maybe tell me your favorite character and why. So Tracy, you want to go first? I love your background.
Thank you. I really, really enjoyed The Color Purple. Even so many years later, and I had gotten, I saw it the second day. I didn't see it the first day. And I was, ironically, I was on Facebook reading all the comments and, oh, it's a musical. And, people had their discrepancies about, oh, I thought it was the movie. I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
I love
I,
musicals. I mean, the
I,
music was so great and the choreography was wow.
yeah. And then to have Fantasia as part of that, I was like, and I'm a big Fantasia fan.
Uh-huh.
But I truly enjoyed it, and I tried to get in to see it the first day. His tickets were sold out, which I was like, well, that's a good sign.
Right.
But my favorite, I liked Suge.
You like
Suge
Suge,
Avery, yeah.
Suge
The,
Avery.
Suge Avery. I mean, she shook it up.
Uh-huh.
She changed the dynamics of, I don't know what he's telling you to do, but this is how we're gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
She to me became her independence. She became
Right.
Miss Celi's independence. She's like, you know what, we're gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
And she just showed her a different light. I mean, we saw that in the first one, but I think it really came to light and came into fruition when I saw it the second time. When The Color Purple first came out the first time around, I believe I was about 12.
Mm-hmm.
So my perspective, fast forward to this many years later, the lens are very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the whole dynamics of the relationship that this guy, Miss Silly's husband had. I can't remember his name. Had, which you're inviting another woman to your house, and
Yeah, yeah, your lover to and to
and I'm
get her
like,
some
what?
food, take her bath.
As a kid, I didn't get. I missed that, but I was
Yeah.
like, what? And of course, we
And she
saw it.
did it, and because she needed a sister, she needed some other person
Right.
that was mean to her, so she did it with joy and everything. But anyway,
And then hated to see her leave. That
yeah,
was,
because
I
she was
mean,
gonna go back to Mister.
yeah.
Both of them hate Sylvie.
Yeah. So I love Shook. She
Good.
shook it up. She did. She
Yes, she
shook it up.
did.
Yes,
Yes,
she
she
did.
did. Tracy, what about you? I mean, Shelley, what about you?
My favorite was Celie, played by Fantasia Barrino. And I like Celie in this version of The Color Purple because she had a breakthrough.
Uh-huh.
She was an overcomer. She was kind. She helped Sophia when she was in jail. Remember at the dinner when Sophia said, Miss Celie, you helped me to know that there was love in the world. You helped me to get through that time when she was in jail. And that really hit me. I was like,
Yeah. You
she
came
was
to
in
visit me. Yeah, she was the only
right.
one who came to visit her.
Yes. And Celia was in pain in an abusive relationship herself, but
Mhm.
then she extended herself to help someone else too.
Right.
So I liked her because she was an overcomer. She
Mhm.
had a breakthrough. I love the way she ended up using her craft to sew, and she was able to open the store with all of the wares, the things that she could make and then sell to people. So I just loved her
Those
story.
pants. Those, when that song about the pants,
Yes, about the
riches or
paint.
whatever,
Yep, yep.
whatever it
So
was, Miss Celie's pants. Oh yeah, I love
yes, and I loved when she sung the song, "I'm
Yes.
Free."
that. Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
started crying.
Yes.
I did too. It was a tear
Yes.
jerker. On several moments, I found
Mm-hmm.
myself crying. And even with
Mhm.
her, when she talked about sisterhood, because we as women need to be there for each other, even though we're going through our own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She took aside time to reach out and saw somebody else needed to be loved. And so she gave out of what she could get that she
Right.
didn't have, and
That she didn't have.
her and to go visit her and sit with her. Wow, powerful woman.
Yeah. Deborah,
Mhm.
you like the when she sung "I'm Free" too?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I loved her
Woo!
too because I could see the sisterhood because that's what, my heart, that was where my heart is.
Right.
Yeah.
That no matter what she was going through, like you said, she reached out to her sister.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that's, to me, that was the whole theme of it this time. I didn't see that the last time, but it was a bunch of women with different stages and different things going on in their lives,
Yes.
but they all had a way of being connected sister. And when her sister did that little thing like that, it reminded me when I was a little
Oh
girl,
yeah.
would do those little things, and girls would take up for each other and just stick together like sisters, and do that today, like they used to do that. And I think it's because we as women, like I said, Lamberty said this too. What is it? This place ain't safe for a girl child.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, back in the day, it was like that. So sisters, they stuck together, whether you were a sister or not, you know, to protect each other and be there for each. A lot of abuse, and it's still a lot of abuse of women going on today.
Oh yeah.
And we just kind of had take care of what's going on in our family. Don't worry about somebody else. It's like we don't have enough to give out. But
Right.
anyway, we're going to come back, guys, to you guys. I want to check with Lamberty too. And Lamberty, I know you had a couple of controversial things that you want to talk about, but what was your favorite part of this particular one? I know you had a favorite part. What did you think?
So my favorite character is Sophia. And I think even in the original film, Sophia would still be one of my favorite characters because she was someone that had a lot of pride and confidence and
Did she ever?
didn't fit into the norm, didn't try to have to fit into what people said a woman should be or look like. So I thought that was a
Yeah.
strong character. And even, you know, having that women stand up to Miss Millie. I mean, it ended up getting her in trouble, but
Right.
that pride and confidence, I really love
Yeah.
that about Sophia.
I loved her walk. You know, she walked like she had places to go. And if you got in her way, you gonna get run over. And even her husband, you know, when he said, who kicked you in your eye? Who hit you? I don't, you know, nobody hit me in my eye. That mule kicked me in the eye, and she done gave him a black eye because another woman told her the way you make your woman behave is by beating her. And that's something that was really something that happened back in the day, that men thought that they needed to beat their woman
Mhm.
into submission.
And that's what I liked about that, the dynamic between Harper and Sophia, because Harper really was trying to be a different kind of man too, and
Yes.
redefine what man is. But you know, his father, his grandfather would put him down, but and even the next husband that Sophia had, you know, took care of the kids, cleaning, you know, it showed that there were men too that were stepping out of just the stereotypical
Right.
definitions of what it meant to be a man.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought a lot, and I'm glad the men went with us because he loved him so Sophia, and she was not your typical, you know, woman, little skinny woman. She's a big woman. He's a little man, but he loved her, and he didn't let what his dad or his grandfather said about him being loving her and doing those things that he did to help around the house with the children and so forth. So yeah, we give hats off to her. I'm gonna say for mine, because we got some more things to talk about, but I think the all of them, I love the whole thing because I love musicals. I love singing. I love choreography. I mean, so I thought the movie was wonderful, even though it wasn't the same as the book. It wasn't the same as the first one. I just love the dancing and the singing, which and the colors that were so vibrant and alive. But the one that I always like to talk about, and she wasn't Black, Miss Millie. She was the mayor's wife, and I think his name was Miss Millie. And I resonated so much with her too, because my mother grew up in a time when the automobiles looked like that, and that my mom was a maid for a white lady. She was a good white lady too, my mom. She wasn't mean like Miss Millie, but regardless of whatever, she cooked for this white family and their children and took care of those children like they were her own. And even when she went away, they came back for her funeral and so forth, because they that was their first, like motherly figure who did everything that a mother did for them, even loved them. So, but the part I love when she said, "Don't you want to be my maid? Don't you want to take care of my children? Cook for me?" And of course, when Sophia, oh my goodness, Sophia, she said, "Hell no." They said, "Oh no," because they knew how she was. And she ended up in jail. So they have that song that says that hell no. And I love it. I loved it. So let's talk about the part, I noted that you all know that when all movies look for, and actresses look for ratings and how it did in the movie, it kind of dictates on what their next movie is going to be offered, or a part that's going to be offered, whether or not they get nominations, even the money. Once you get a good high grossing film, then your next one, you can command a certain amount of money, and it can really make you rich, or it can break you. And so I want to talk about the controversy that's going on here a little bit, because I was really heartbroken when I heard that it had not done good in the box offices. And so I started to kind of watch some things and looking at some things. So I want to talk about that from your perspective. What do you think is going on? I'm going to start with Lamberty, because my daughter went to NYU, and so she's been around a lot of actresses and actors. My daughter-in-law is an actress as well, and her husband is an actor, Avery Kid Waddell. So look him up, Avery Kid Waddell. And I know that he's, over the years, have had to deal with trying to get those good parts, those good paying parts. And so I want to ask her, and he's a male, so he may not have the same experiences of what we've heard going on here with The Color Purple, but in meaning that Black women don't get paid what they are worth, and they don't get the amount of money that's comparable to what the film makes. So, Larry, can you speak a little bit on that, about what, I don't know if have you heard, first of all, the different interviews that have been going on with the people that were in the movie that are not happy with what they were, how they were treated, or how they were paid? Have you heard anything about that, or know anything?
Actually, I have not been keeping up with it. And, I have had a different experience of the movie. I did not enjoy the movie. I was disappointed with the movie. So I was not surprised. It didn't do well.
Okay.
I
Well, I'm gonna go to
actually
you
love
first.
the original, and I love the book, and I love the play. I saw it on Broadway, and I was disappointed with the movie.
Now tell me why you were disappointed with the movie, because I know you did share with that. We were just all excited, and you and my son-in-law Avery said, "I didn't think it was very good. I didn't like it." And we're like, "What do you mean you didn't like it? It was wonderful." So tell me, from your perspective as an actress and actor, and having a husband, and that living in California and being around a lot of actors, and seeing a lot of plays and movies on Broadway when you lived in New York. What was it about the movie that you did not like, or you weren't surprised that it didn't gross the money that it should have?
So I think for me, there were a couple of things. I think the story is so rich, and the characters and the story are so um, just nuanced and well developed, and they each have their own journey throughout, whether it be the book or the original movie or the play.
Talk a little bit
And
into the phone and go slower, because I'm hearing you were doing real good, then you kind of broke out. So keep the phone to your
I
mouth.
apologize, you guys. Is this better?
Yeah. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Okay. So I think with this one, it seemed as though they got a little caught up in the entertainment piece with the songs and the choreography and the kind of splashiness, and they lost the heart of the story.
So you think they lost the true richness of the storyline,
Yeah,
entertaining with music and dancing?
entertaining. I mean, because even with Celie, Suge, who also I really love that character, the original. If you look at the original, um, the book and the original movie, Suge was very mean to Celie when she first got to the home and was very abusive.
Mhm.
And it took a while for even her to see the beauty of Celie.
Mhm.
And they completely lost that in this movie.
You're right. They
And
didn't even mention that because she called her ugly. She
no,
said, "You so ugly."
yeah, yeah, she was very, very mean.
She threw that food back at her. Yeah.
And so it also really missed a component of Celie's personality because Celie was still able to care and love um, and nurse Shug Avery back to wellness, even when Shug Avery was being so mean and horrible. But they just glossed over that. So I think it really, both characters missed out. And I think the same when Miss Millie and Sophia, um, their relationship, I mean, we know Miss Millie a little bit more in the original because she was one of these white women that really saw herself as someone who loved the colors, right? She loved her some black people. So there was something really genuinely sweet about her, but at the same time, she was so ignorant and she could be so demeaning without even knowing it. So, but I think this, they just glossed over that. And then you saw in the original how Sophia,
Let me backtrack what you just said a minute because I don't know if they heard you, but you were saying that Miss Millie really loved Black people. She loved the little brown chocolate babies, but she loved them in a way that was really not healthy. But she
right,
thought she was doing good
she
by
saw
making.
herself
I'm
as
offering you an
an
opportunity.
ally.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm a friend. You don't want to be my maid?
Yep,
I I love your little colored children. They look so cute and so clean.
yep. So it just showed the kind of ignorance and, and the complexity of that white black dynamic, right? Because she, in one sense, was one of the quote unquote good ones, but she still had so much ignorance.
Exactly. And and we see that today even and I can't even go into detail, but here recently with a lot of people in politics and things, and they're like, but I let you be a part of us. Aren't you glad I let you be a part of us? You know,
Mhm. Yeah,
and they don't realize that it's condescending and the way you're talking at me, like I'm a doll or I'm a little cute puppy. But I'm a human being, and no, I don't want to work for you. I want my own car, my own house. And I don't need you to tell me that my kids are so clean.
yep.
You know, why wouldn't they be clean? You know? So I agree with you on that, Lamb. That was totally missed up because we see that so much today now with white people that they are really trying to be friendly, but they are missing out on the fact that that's offensive. What you just said. I like the way you get your hair. Like, how you get your hair to do like that? Stop talking about my hair. Talk about me. So what else about it did you think that those are two very good points that you just brought out? I think it was three of them. Was there another one?
No, I think the only other piece, it was more the character development. So I think it also missed the dynamic between Mr. and his father, because in the first movie, you really saw how horrible and just evil Mr.'s father was. And he really wanted his father's approval. And all he had was what his father told him about manhood. And so you got to see that dynamic a little bit more in the first. so you understood him better. Not
Mm-hmm.
to excuse his behavior, but I think you just understood his character more. So then it made it even more meaningful when he came around at the end and was able to at least do one decent thing, have some piece of redemption.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's just overall, it was just, I think it missed a lot of the heart of the.
Yeah, no, you're right, because even when I'm, like I said, I got caught up into the dancing and the entertainment too, that I really didn't think about the three generations that were there. The mister who was really, like I said, so awful. And his son, I forgot what happened, if his wife died or she ran off or whatever, but he was like his dad. You could see why he was so confused. And then, when you got to Harpo, how he was trying to change, he didn't like them or whatever. So yeah, you're right. A lot of that was not developed. Those characters were not developed the way they were. But yeah, those are very good points. And see, like I said, I love the entertainment so much. I love what was going on. And because I had seen the others, I didn't even really focus on what was missing. But actors and actresses do, because they're into the parts. And so I can see how you guys could pick up on that right away. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Does anybody else have any I know I didn't read the book, but I saw the plays and so forth. So, and that first one was very powerful. I think it was the best. I mean, the storyline and the character development, it was really, really strong. And this second one was just as, I guess, as we already knew what was going to happen, we kind of focused a lot on the music, and I loved it. I still did like it, but that was it. So you're thinking, and another reason I think that it didn't do well. Number one, I thought it was too saturated. I mean, the movie came out Christmas time, and then the play came out of New York, and it was just too much. And it already had been seen, and people had seen it like that and were going to see the play in New York one way, and they were having the movies like this. So the other reason I thought it didn't do good, I didn't think they marketed it very well. What do y'all think?
I think, Lady O, the marketing, I definitely feel like it wasn't marketed. The marketing was not there. I think the focus was more so on the discrepancies with the money. I think
Mhm.
I think that became more of the focus. I don't know if it was strategic or somebody did that. I don't know why that was
Now,
the
how did
focus.
it leak? How did it get out? I mean, does anybody know when it first came out? It wasn't during Christmas. It must have been right at, it's almost like it was like sabotage. You couldn't talk about how it wasn't developed in character, because then the infighting of the characters in Oprah, that kind of overshadowed it, I think. But I don't know when it came out.
The first time I heard it when Taraji did an interview and she talked about the pay. And that's when it kind of took off, not being paid what she was paid. She hadn't gotten a raise since one of the other movies she was in. I can't remember the name of it. And then she did another interview where she said that she almost walked away from The Color Purple. And
Mhm.
somebody in the audience said, "What?" And she said, "Who said what?" Yeah, yeah, you know.
She sure did, didn't she?
Yeah, and I think that's when it started taking off.
Wow. Well, I think that you're absolutely right, because we didn't know that there was fighting going on the set. But
Right.
afterwards, when it all came out, it was saying that every day there seemed like there was something that was brewing. People were not happy. People were not getting paid the money they were supposed to be getting paid. They didn't have food on the set. They didn't have drivers. I think Taraji said she had to drive herself in to
Mm.
work every day. It was dangerous, and you just don't bring your biggest actors and actresses in there and expect them to drive their own cars. I don't from a rental car, but I think she had to. If I'm not mistaken, that was one of her complaints, that she had to drive herself. She had to get a rental car. She didn't have security, and she didn't have the dressing room and the food and the different amenities. Because I don't know if Lamborghini she got off, look, but I know when her husband, I went on set with him one time when he was doing a commercial, and they shut off the whole neighborhood, and up and down the streets outside the set are all these food trucks and wardrobe trucks. And this was for a commercial. I think it was a Domino's pizza commercial, and they had food from salads to whatever you wanted. You want a steak, they'll cook you a steak. So actors and actresses are used to that kind of a treatment. And so when you don't get it, plus you don't get the money, um, it doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you feel like doing your very best. So did anybody else hear anything or have any comments about what you heard?
Well, I first saw the issue about the money on Instagram when it was just a portion of the interview that Taraji gave. But my take on it is I feel like the media tried to have that the discrepancy overshadow the positive parts of the movie. And I looked at it as sabotage. And I feel like those the actresses and the actors put their heart and soul into those performances. And I feel like it was an amazing production. And the money part, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think it was just Oprah. It's not a rift between Oprah and the actors and the actresses. It's the production company itself. So I don't know why they tried to make it seem like it was Oprah that wasn't paying them.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of interviews going around, a lot of, conversations and things going on. But on one of them, I heard that they did blame Oprah to an extent because they said it was her company and she controlled the money. And they weren't interacting about the money; they were interacting with her, and they even bought in what's his name? My mind just went blank. I had a Tyler
Tyler
Perry.
Perry?
Yeah, Tyler
Okay.
Perry and Monique. That's what I was trying to think. Monique.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
for years, I remember when they blackballed Monique, and they
Yeah.
were how horrible she was to work with and whatever. And this, unfortunately, gave her an opportunity to say, "Hey, I told you so. This is what I was talking about. Y'all call me this and that." But when in reality, now y'all know what I was having to go through. And it was some particular movie that she had done that grossed a whole bunch of money. And
Precious.
Precious, yeah.
Oh,
And
yes,
she got paid,
Precious.
if I'm not mistaken, she got paid $50,000 for that movie. And when y'all have to Google and see how much it grossed, but it was nothing compared to what Tyler Perry got. And so that's what, it's been in the talk too.
Yeah.
But I like your point, and I think you're absolutely right. Whatever we as Black people get into it or fight each other, then some people will come in and make it bigger because they want to destroy what the Black person is doing, and they don't
Right.
want to do well anyway. So it's
Right.
like my mom used to always say, don't air your dirty laundry amongst people who don't care about you, the strangers or whatever.
Right. And
And
that's why I didn't even listen. I listened to the first one.
yeah,
And then the other interviews I watched were the interviews where Oprah was actually with the main characters.
what did she
And
say? Did you? Because I didn't
they
see.
didn't talk about, they only talked about the way the movie was made, the things that they did on the set, how much fun it was to work with other powerful Black women.
Okay.
So the money issue did not come up
Okay.
when on the interviews that I saw with Oprah. And
Okay.
it seemed like they had a great camaraderie. It didn't seem like there was any rift between them at all.
Right.
So I tuned it out. I saw that one thing and I was like, I'm not listening to that. I don't even want to hear it. So I didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the interviews that they did together was before that Taraji's interview. because once
Okay.
Taraji's interview came out, there was another not an interview, but they were going to take pictures, and you could see the body language change
Mm. Okay.
between Oprah and Taraji.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was like it was strained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Because when they first came out together, they were all trying to promote
right.
it and talk about the fun things that happen on the show. But then, just like in any family, there's always going to be something that happens that you don't want everybody to know outside that
Yeah.
said or done in the family. And so, it's never going to be 100%
Mm.
peach and cream. So then I don't know how I don't know how she got to talk about that, but I know that are they having some kind of a what do you call those talk show things where they do? I forgot. But anyway, I know it's been a lot of talk going on. And for some
Mm.
reason, she was unhappy about something. And was it unhappy about the pay or did somebody say something? I don't know.
Mm.
Well, I think with Taraji, and I was just looking up she's a very talented actress, of course, and she's been in other movies. And I know this has been her ongoing concern with,
Mm.
even other movies of
Right.
she was in Benjamin Buttons with Brad Pitt, who made $10 million and she only made $150,000.
Right. See?
And other movies that she's been in, Tyler Perry movies. She's been in a lot of Tyler Perry movies.
Yes, she has.
Not
She
sure how
has
much she
been.
made from those movies, but I know she mentioned that she never got what she felt she deserved,
Mm-hmm.
in, comparison to her counterparts.
Right.
I don't know what Color Purple made. Well, it says it netted 59 million as of recent. It was $100 million. It was took them 100 million to make it,
Okay.
but they only grossed 59 million.
Mm.
So
So
it was really under
yeah,
grossing, and which was a really shame. And it didn't give it a chance to really get better when all of this stuff came out.
right.
Right.
People start
Right.
focusing on that. So I was very saddened by that because I was really hoping, see, with like having actors and actresses in my family, I know it's difficult to get work, to get to be chosen. It's not a whole lot of parts for us sometimes. And sometimes it's been better. And I think us with Taraji, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, but she's been in a lot. And
Mhm.
so by this time, she should be making the big money. And so sometimes I could understand that if that didn't happen, then
Mhm.
she would be a little bitter. And then
Yeah.
also I was told that the marketing that they didn't want to put the money into, when I say they, I don't know if that's the producers or Oprah and whoever, they didn't want to put the money out there to do the marketing that needed to be done. But here's the deal. If you don't market it right, you don't put the money into market it, you're going to lose it at the box office because people are not going to always come out for it. And I wonder if that's not what happened. Not
Lydia,
sure.
Mm.
also, I want to mention this as well because social media, I believe, also played an integral part in maybe why a lot of people decided not to go.
Mhm.
Because I know when I was going to go regardless because I wanted to see it, just because I had my memory of reading the book and the original Color Purple. But when I would go and open up Facebook, all I could read was, "Oh, it's a musical. I don't want to see it. It's a musical. Oh, I didn't know it's a musical." And then so those discussions, I think, discouraged many people from even bothering to go.
Yes, you are so right. Facebook is just a different animal these days because you can make or break something, make or break a person even on Facebook. So, and people believe it, and especially the young people. I mean, they watch it religion, and I shouldn't say most of them, but because even a lot of the older ones are on Facebook every day, all day, and they listen to it and they believe what they hear. And I wonder too, they've got those new, is it AI? Um, is
Artificial
all the stuff,
intelligence. Yeah.
yeah, is
Mhm.
all the stuff you see on Facebook really people, or are they programming and putting things out there? We had the election last time. They had a lot of people that were doing that artificial intelligence to Black people, and some of the things that they were saying really didn't happen, or they weren't saying, but it was I don't know, it's scary, y'all, what's
It
going on
is.
with social media. It's like you don't know what's real and what's not real.
That's true.
Right.
And they can put things out there and pay money to market it like it's really, really real when it's not.
Mm-hmm. And that's what that's what I'm thinking about this whole piece about the movie. I feel like it was sabotage.
Yeah.
I do.
Mhm.
I really do.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good
yeah.
thought. Yeah.
I think it
And
was
there was
sabotage too.
What do you think? You think so too,
I
Deborah?
think it was sabotaged as well. I think they found a door, an opening. And
Yep.
so this is an all Black,
Cast.
production and casting. So let's destroy it. Let's
Right.
find any little thing, just like the devil, just give them a little
Just a little
crack.
bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Wow. I hadn't thought about that. I really hadn't, but I was trying to figure out. It didn't make sense because to me, even though the first movie had this great storyline, and I really did like the story, and I liked the way the characters were developed and so forth, and we can do a lot of talking. This one I thought too was really good.
I do too.
It
I
was
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just the whole focus was more of a sisterhood. It was about the women, um, I think pulling
supporting each
together.
other.
I
Mm-hmm.
think
Right.
so. And I
Mm.
think that's why I really liked it. I like the unity circle at the end, so
Mhm.
that
Oh
didn't have
Oh yeah,
yes.
that too. Mm-hmm. That was
that,
I
beautiful.
love
that
I
made
And
love
it
that.
was lighter. Like that's what Tisha is saying, that it was a lighter, it was it still told a story, but
right.
it made it more palatable, like my mom used to say.
Right.
It was easier to digest and look at and listen to because it was lighter
Right,
It
right.
was lighter,
with
but
the
it was
music.
deeper to me.
Yeah. You
It
thought
Uh-huh.
it
was
was deeper?
I thought, well, I really cried through this one when
I
I
did
didn't through
too.
the
Oh my
first one.
God.
It
I
was
did too.
messages that
I
resonated.
cried too.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
Tracy, did
like
you
some
cry
messages.
too? You
Huh?
didn't cry,
I
Tracy?
I
I
did.
got I got a little emotional. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
So, okay. So Deborah, why
Mm.
were you crying now? Tell me why
I'm,
you were crying.
there were some deeper messages to me. There were things that I could reflect on from growing
Mm-hmm.
up,
Mm-hmm.
things that I had been through, and it was just powerful to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I liked it better than the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
did
love
too.
And I think that all of us can say this, that in different times in your life, when you see different movies, it has a different kind of meaning because a lot of
yes.
things you may not have even gone through yet, but when you've gone through it and then you see it, or if you go
Hmm.
through it at the time, it can have a different meaning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think it needed to be exactly like the first
Yeah,
I didn't
why?
because it
either.
was a remake.
Right.
Well,
And it was a musical.
it was a
Yeah.
Yeah,
musical, right? So
right.
And
I
I
didn't
look at
expect it to be the same either.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think about the first version came out in 19, was it 80, you said 85?
85,
I
85.
was 14 years old, and then now versus my lens is so different.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
Yes. Perspective is so
so my
different.
perspective, so I thought all I could think about is, especially with, Miss Sealy, this woman is, the greatest character to me. I'm not gonna say the greatest character, but one of the top characters because of how she got through all of these different struggles,
Yes.
you
And came
know,
out on top.
it came out on top.
Right, right,
Yes,
right.
she
Yeah,
did.
I had to laugh because she still gave him them fingers, she
Yeah,
took
I love that part. I love the part when she said, until you do right by me.
Me. Woo!
and he struggled too, bless his
He
heart.
Didn't,
did.
because
He
it
Well, at the
did.
showed
end,
you.
that's why he found that letter. He said he'd
That's
gone through so much. He said, here, can take
right.
the letter. And
Just take it.
he made it
Mm-hmm.
right. Now, I like that part that he made it
Right.
right
Yeah,
by
I did too.
her
I
at the
did.
Because
end.
I like that too.
it made you think about vengeance is mine, said the Lord. That's
Right,
what I
right.
thought about. That's all right. Just tell him that until you do right by me, everything that you touch.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Did
Yeah.
y'all see
Everything
in
you
the
touch
first
is
one
gonna
that
come.
he gave her that letter like that, or he set it up? I
Uh-huh.
missed that
I
he
don't
set it
remember that
up.
in the first one.
Yeah, he did. I
Yeah.
remember it.
Okay.
I
I
do
do
remember
remember
him
though
doing
that
it.
he died, and the girl said, she said, well, how did he die? And he said, on top of
On
me.
top of
Remember
me.
that?
Yeah.
And as a little
Oh
girl,
yeah.
that just broke my heart, you know. And then when he took
Mm.
her babies away, now that
Oh,
right.
yeah.
That was horrible.
It was bad
Mm-hmm.
enough the slave plantation guys were doing that and taking babies away, but here her own black man,
Yeah.
Her
somebody,
stepfather.
her
Mm.
stepfather
Mm-hmm.
had the baby
Mm.
and gave the baby away. It was bad enough that, you know, it was bad enough that he was having sex with her and so forth, but to
Right.
put her through that kind of turmoil. And I think when she cried, it made me cry when he took her baby away.
Mm. Yeah.
She played that part good.
Yeah.
And that forgiveness in the end was another part that got me.
Yeah.
When they were around the tree,
Yes, yes,
and then when you looked at the table settings, the quilts,
yes,
that I was
yeah,
like, that was awesome.
right. And
But
see, that's why I was saying that it wasn't supposed to be like the
it
first one.
wasn't.
It was a whole different message based upon what, back then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you another thing they did that they didn't do as much of, or maybe I didn't get it because I wasn't, but now with lesbianism is that
Yeah.
women, they really did that openly, like it was, they didn't try to sneak into it or hide it or whatever. I don't know. I just saw it a little different, like they seemed like they were a little bit more free. Did y'all see that way or opposed to the last time? Because she was
I think the
saying,
first one, I think there was a kiss, but it was so fast.
yeah,
And it could have been mistaken as, sometimes we'll like I might kiss my little niece. Like, women, we
yeah,
might, but
right.
this was so pronounced this time.
Passionate. Yeah.
But it's
Mm.
more accepted
Right.
fast
Now.
forward to this year to now. I think that it's not taboo as it was back in 1985.
Right. I
So
think the producers felt more comfortable in allowing it to just kind of be a natural thing
right.
as opposed to a funny, like a prank kind of thing. I remember she put the lipstick all over and put her mirror in front of me and gave her a kiss, and it was kind of a play girl kind of thing, but
Right.
was not. So there were a lot of things that went on in there, but I like that the women were able to overcome in spite of their difficulties, and the thing that got them through was each other.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
put together and learned from each other and supported one another. So anyway, our time is about up, but I absolutely loved it, and I would see it when it comes out, on whatever it is we do, the free stuff. I'm gonna watch it
I'm
again.
gonna watch it again.
Yeah. And I just want to thank you ladies for coming on. And your backgrounds are adorable. Miss Deborah, of course, for those of y'all don't know, purple is not
That's
something that she just happened to have on tonight. Her favorite color is purple, and every thing she does has purple in it. So the stars and the way you're glistening like a big amethyst back there, that's my birthstone, that purple. And so I
mm.
love it. You are shining like a superstar, girl.
I love it. I love that as
Kelly,
well.
your background is who's the lady, the
It's
poster,
the major characters.
the major
Yeah.
character?
Taraji,
I
Fantasia,
love
and
that.
Danielle.
I
Yeah.
love it, love it, love it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
And
Tracy, I really like yours because that's
Oh
the
yeah.
original.
Mine is the younger versions of them, and
Yeah.
the sisterly bond that they had,
Mm.
Yeah,
and
they kept for all those years.
yeah.
Lady O, I have some of the pictures from the CWF going to see the
Okay,
color purple.
okay. Are the ladies going to see the color purple? Okay, let's see if
Yes.
we can show them right quick. We got a few minutes. Go ahead.
Okay.
That was so much
Okay.
fun.
It was fun. Okay, so that's your picture. Can y'all see?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a purple and stuff in front of the marquee.
Yes, and you know what? Even that, they could have had a bigger one
Yeah.
inside. We
No,
had to go outside to take the
me
picture.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I had to ask the lady, was it showing here? Was I at the right place? Because there was nothing.
Nothing,
Mm.
right?
And this was outside down the sidewalk. It wasn't outside in the front.
Down the sidewalk. Remember,
Down
yeah,
the
we had to walk all the way down there. And let
sidewalk.
me see if I can go to the next one. Hold on. Where is the next one? Oh, it's not letting me go. Hold
Not
on
letting you go.
to the next one.
Usually it's along the slide or somewhere side. Is it
Usually.
huh?
Hold
Well,
on, let me
Lady O
try.
was supposed to be the star.
Okay, so that was my background. I didn't get a chance to have my background on there, but listen, we gotta go. It's been a fun, guys. But listen, I absolutely love the color purple, and I can't wait till it comes out so I can get some popcorn and invite other ladies over and we have it again. Another because there was so many wonderful things that we could learn as in sisterhood, and I pray that the Black actors and Oprah and all of them, I pray that they can get together and pull together because there is so much strength and unity
Yeah.
and we don't let people divide us. And I think that's one of the things the movie showed that we cannot let anything divide us. So I hope that Oprah and all of the ladies and gentlemen and will get together because we need them to pull together to do some things that other people will not do for us. And that's give us the part, the leading part, but also that we will be fair with one another, that we
Yeah.
will not nickel and dime each other. Let's share and give everybody what they're worth and put
Mm-hmm.
together. Because I tell you what, if they could have made this really great, think about what it could have become the next time and the next
Right.
time. So listen, that's all I have for now. But this is Lady O signing off with all of my wonderful, amazing team. Thank you, Tish. Tish didn't have her purple on, but I saw her in the chat room just chatting away. So thank you all for showing up and giving us some perspectives on the color purple. I want to thank my daughter, Lamborghini from California. And shout out to her husband, Avery Kit Waddell. Look him up. He's got a movie that just came out. And also, since we're talking about actors and actresses, my daughter-in-law, Michelle Elaine Ogletree, has gotten a part on a touring that's going to be touring in New York and other places too. But I'll tell you more about that. Um, because I didn't have the information right here in front of me, but you'll hear more about her. We'll be interviewing her and going to New York to support her as well. So thank you guys for coming on. Let's pray for our Black actors and actresses and producers that they can get all they need and pull together and be strong. Spread positive words about these things. And my mama used to say, if you can't say something nice, just don't say nothing, okay? Well, listen, that's all for today, and I'll see you next Sunday at 3 for tea with Lady O. Bye bye.